Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of the Season 6 premiere of Rick and Morty Solaricks. And I actually really enjoyed this episode. It actually was a nice kind of continuation from the ending that we got last season, and just a kind of interesting look at characters through a kind of weird situation. So, we start off and we see that Rick and Morty are stuck on the saucer section. They're the only two alive left after, Evil Morty did his plan, and they're kind of just doing their pop culture joke references. Rick being like, yeah, I'm not doing that shit like in that Avengers movie. And Morty's like, dude, you know it's fucking Iron Man. And that, fuck Evil Morty. It's like, come on. He essentially did the whole thing of, quitting Twitter. And, Morty's like, nobody quits Twitter. But then we see that Space Beth pops up and is wondering if they need help, trying to do a joke and everything, and they're just fucking her over with it. But they kind of get him back home. They get brought out some food by Beth, I'll say, or just Mom Beth, Earth Beth. How about that? Space Mom and Earth Mom kind of shit. Rick fucking turns Morty's into fucking goop. It's kind of saying what she's like, fuck it, I'm taking this risk. And of course, they didn't get out of the saucer section because the portal gun wasn't working. So he tries to reset the kind of portal gun fluid shit, but instead reset the things that have juice like the portal guns to their normal universes. And he of course brings up this whole thing, and it's him, Morty, and Jerry that are going to be teleported back. And Jerry's like, explain. But he's like, there's not enough time, all that kind of shit, but there is enough time. He sets this whole long list of Summer to try and reacclimate it so that way they can pretty much get back to there. Earth Beth is pretty much like, hey, where the fuck are Rick and Morty? It's like, yeah, they're buried in the backyard. It's like, oh, that's what's going on with the possums. So they get shifted back to their each respective universes. Jerry, we find out at the end, pretty much got shifted back to essentially a season 2 thing because of the Jerry place. That's kind of where the mix-up happened. Morty gets sent back to the Cronenberg kind of universe and finds his Jerry's the only one alive and tries to kind of reconnect with him and everything and try to make up for it. But that Jerry is like, fuck that shit, and is essentially become kind of like a Rick kind of himself. He tries to steal Morty's shit, but Morty really didn't have any cool shit. And he pretty much calls him out for leaving him and leaving the family and leaving Beth to die and Summer to die, and just to pretty much tell him to fuck off. And this of course upsets Morty before it dovetails back into Rick's kind of whole thing. Rick gets teleported back to his, where of course his wife and kid are dead, and he created a program to pretty much haunt him as he's pretty much trying to fix up a car so that way he can go through this kind of rift thing. And we find out that he essentially stuck that universe into a time loop, and that everybody's old, and he kind of shuts it down and everybody finally dies. It's like, sweet release. As he then goes through, we see that Summer is going through doing the kind of stuff. She gets cool shit that Rick kind of pays her off for. She gets pretty much X-23 claws from the Marvel Universe, where they're similar to Wolverine, but it's 2 of them, and that's the one that X-23 usually has. Is it her that's got the 2? Hold please as I look this up. Oops. Yeah, she's got the usual 2. Yeah. So they pretty much get suited up. They go to the Citadel, hook up this MacGuffin kind of thing to kind of stabilize stuff and put a homing beacon. But 5th dimensional kind of weird ass things are coming. So her and the 2 moms start fighting and duking it out to fight those things. Earth Mom is having some trouble trying to kill some stuff and having some shit that of course Summer wants to be more with the cool one. She kind of lays out everything and they're like, fine, whatever. You can't chase my affections. I'm like a 17-year-old. It's like the wind, man. And they kind of just all kind of get it all settled out. And then Rick pretty much has dived through. He's like, alright, set me out to Morty. He crashes down, and that universe, the Cronenberg one, we also learn is where he was pretty much trying to hunt the Rick that killed his family. And it's like, oh shit, was he kind of using him, this Morty, as bait? And we learned that he's really not. or it might have started out that way, but it's kind of moved past that. They try and pretty much go after that Rick, and it's pretty much making fun. It's like, oh, is that actually him? Is it not? As it's going through this kind of death trap thing, and they're just like, ah, fuck it, it's not kind of worth it. And they bug out, get back. They go to like season 2 place. They get there Jerry, and he tells them all to fuck off. But we see this kind of cute thing, which is like, where's the other Jerry? And it starts infecting and like destroying the whole planet. It's like, yeah, fuck that shit. Whew. And we see towards the end that that was the real antagonistic Rick, and you almost think that like him and the Cronenberg Jerry are going to like team up, but he's like, I ain't trusting you, Rick. Just tries to slash his throat. It grows back to healing, and then he kills him, and then kind of goes off. So we'll have that kind of Rick going around. Well, I almost thought that there was going to be like a kind of negative kind of team up of whatnot, like that Rick could potentially build his own kind of anti our usual kind of cobbled together family and try and just fuck with them. But that's kind of the antithesis of what this kind of Rick is. He would go after him alone because he doesn't think he needs anybody else. And it's kind of interesting that our Rick has gotten to the point that he does need Summer and Beth and Jerry and Morty. And we do kind of see that growth, even though he is still a fucking stubborn asshole. So I overall really enjoyed this one because we did see the kind of character growth of Rick kind of assuring Morty that he's like, yeah, I'm not using it as bait to get this other asshole. Summer just pretty much seeing her kind of relationship with Rick, getting the kind of cool shit, still kind of helping out, and kind of awesome to have like 2 moms that do like cool different other kind of things. And then just Jerry kind of tacked on doing his shit as it's like, yeah, that's Jerry. But I also like that Morty had to deal with the repercussions of leaving his family as well in a Rick kind of style, but that he still felt remorse and was sad about it. Even though we got like your typical kind of pop culture references and everything like that. It's like, yeah, okay, they worked pretty well. They weren't really annoying. I'm like, alright, that's cool. There wasn't a joke that overstayed its welcome for me or didn't get executed as well enough. So I was like, yeah, this is a pretty good start to season 6. And I can't wait to see what other shenanigans our group gets involved in. So those are my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.